Hello YouTube, welcome back to The Binding of Isaac, Afterbirth Plus. We're not going to accidentally play as Isaac this time, we're going to play as Eden. And see what we get, as people are still filtering in from chat. Look at her head. It looks like Stephen has the hair, not us. I'm actually not sure how that would have worked without Stephen. A pompadour type thing, maybe? Or... Telepathy for dummies. Good damage because of Stephen. Tier rate is pretty good too. Yeah, okay, this is a good start. 1M9V 6HLA is the seed if you want to play along. Hello Robin. Oh, and also for the YouTube side, because I already explained this to chat. Allergies are quite bad today, my throat hurts, I have a tea that I'm finishing off. And then I started drinking before the stream. I have a dog nagging me to throw a toy, so this is going to be one of those weird runs. Yeah, this seems like a good start. Telepathy for dummies is like, who cares, but everything else is pretty good. What stat did we lose out on? Our range is kind of low, our speed is low, that's where it is. And 0.56 lot. Yeah, hello, I see you again. What? What? You've had plenty of attention today, little girl. Yes, you have. Hello, Lust. Why does it feel like my tears are missing you more after using telepathy for dummies? What is that? Karma up. I don't remember what that does. It's a good pill though, let's just pretend that was karma at work. And we definitely need 2 bombs because there's 2 Sora, please! Hi! Shush! Oop. I obviously wasn't looking at the screen in case you were curious. Didn't think they were coming close to me. I've been playing with her all day. Well, that's not true, I recorded a Batman battle report today, but still. She's had ample attention today, and she's trying to trick you all into thinking that she hasn't had enough. But she definitely has. Oh. Okay, that was good. Yes, a Batman battle report, I said. I'll be editing it tomorrow. Look how happy Stephen is. That's what I strive for. That just level of bliss. So maybe she's crying at me because one of her toys is stuck behind something. Like usually if she cries an overly large amount, that's why. It's her way of saying like, human, there's a thing I want that I can't get. I don't know why it would be stuck in the office somewhere. I'll check after this room. Of course this is going to take a while because these things just run an absolute mile. Fine, kill the one that won't escape. Definitely not annoying at all. Is there... Oh. She's pooping. She's already pooped twice this... She is just trying to get on my nerves. I'm sorry, chat. I will be back in a second. Can't enjoy my tea, can't enjoy my game. Here's your poop monster. You haven't even done anything yet. No, there you have. Okay. Joy. Happy joy. Yuck. Beep beep. Without going into too much detail, she had a hanger on. Oops. And the wires trapped on the chair. Alright. Apologies for the delay, let's get back to this. Yes. Definitely Tech 0. Yeah, do the derp emote in chat, that's warranted. The derp dog emote, to be clear. Red patch? I don't know what karma does. We look like a nerd. A nerd with a happy tumor. Let's fight the boss. This will not take long. Static Tears will make short work of Duke of Flies, assuming I can actually hit him. Actually, our shot speed is pretty low as well. It's another stat that's suffered. Thank you, Wacky Melodic Banjo, for 4 months with Twitch Prime. And for reminding me to remind everyone else that, hey, use Twitch Prime, it helps. And we got a Bone Heart. Now, I think there's at least one room we didn't check, right? So let's go do that and try and get a bomb. And once we're down to the next floor, we can start yammering away about stuff. Okay, I need at least one bomb from you, please. Bombs are key? Need 3 bombs now. Okay, I'll settle for 1 bomb. Oops. That was very silly. No bombs. Okay. I'll leave a vice president and anyone else who came in as well while I was cleaning up poop. The hanging on part. Skooma Cat. Actually, we've checked all these rooms. There's no bombs for us here. Still a really good first floor. It's just a shame that it taunts you with so many tinted rocks knowing that you can't get them. I don't want to lose the Bone Heart, so I can't do the curse room now either, which is a shame. But oh well. So chat, would you like me to talk about my baking escapades on my day off, or would you like me to talk about the Batwoman trailer that came out at the start of the weekend there? I think it was on Saturday that it came out, or Friday night, depending on where you are. Also, this tea is getting cold. Baking in all capitals. Oh, there's no enemies in here. Fair enough. Batwoman, but first drink more tea. It's kind of even so far, I'm surprised. Alright, more people are saying Batwoman now and then baking afterwards. I guess that's not particularly interesting. Get enough of that in real life thanks to the dog. Well, between me and the dog, we've got bad gas covered. Compromise, we bake the Batwoman. Ooh, that's just salt in the wound to get unlimited bombs for this floor. I think we missed 1 tinted rock this floor though, so we'll go back for it, but I'm minding. Is it in here? No. We can blow those up though. Alright, we'll talk about Batwoman. Oh, let the bomb explode first. So how many of you have seen the Batwoman trailer, and if you have seen it, what were your thoughts about it? Okay. So apparently I was misremembering there being a tinted rock on this floor so far. No. Is that your opinion on it, or no to you having seen it? Looks okay, the marketing is coming on a tad strong. It looks about as good as any other Arrowverse show. Those are the 2 sentiments that are kind of like the crux of my opinion of it as well. But it is interesting that the official upload of the trailer on YouTube has like 240,000 dislikes against like 60,000 likes, which is very kind of out. Oh no. Let me just no. Let's just forget that's in there, unless we get a reroll. It seemed very disproportionate for how okay the trailer looked. And I think that's probably got a lot to do with how bad the final line of the trailer is. I'm not 100% sure, but that's my inkling about it. So I don't know if anyone cares about like spoiling a trailer, but I am gonna like say what it is. The final line is Batwoman saying she doesn't want a man to ever take credit for a woman's job again. And that's her excuse for having her costume customized to be more feminine, because it seems like the setup is she's just using a version of Bruce's costume that Lucius Fox is like altered to fit her form. That's a terrible line. It also doesn't make any sense in context because Lucius altered the suit she was using in the first place, and presumably made her the new one as well. so she didn't do it on her own. And empowerment at the expense of someone is not empowerment, is my opinion of that. So I don't really blame people for hearing that terrible, terrible final line of the trailer and being like, nope, not okay with that at all. But I don't think that ruined the trailer entirely. It was a bad line, but we'll take the Book of Sin just because Telepathy for Dummies isn't doing much for us. Double key room. We only have 2 keys. Actually, I can get this key back here. What am I doing? I have unlimited bombs. I'll blow these up too. Like, if it just comes out and it's just kind of like just as okay as like the early seasons of Arrow, that should be fine. It should be watchable. I don't think it's going to be as super preachy or heavy-handed or as dumb as the final line in the trailer or preview, whatever they're calling it, makes it seem. Because the rest of the trailer was fine. The action looked about on par with Arrow, so the special effects and just the look of it. So, you know, I think it looked okay. I don't think it warrants a 200,000 dislike ratio. Although you have got to wonder though, because like when the Ghostbusters like remake came out and its trailer got lambasted, a lot of people wondered if some of those were fake as well. As in like some of the dislikes were fake to deliberately court controversy. I don't know if that's happening here, but for a Batwoman trailer to have that many dislikes compared to likes, it seems a little out of whack to me for what seemed like a decidedly average okay to okay trailer. Thank you Echo2219 for 14 months with Twitch Prime. Welcome back, and I appreciate the support. You've read people moaning about her being gay, but that's part of her character. She is in the comics too. And she has a military father. It does look like they might be laying it on a bit heavy with like her getting kicked out of the military, perhaps. It's not really like fully covered in the trailer. It's implied though. It looks okay, but comes on a bit strong. Yeah, I feel that's a fair way to look at it. But if you go with that opinion and say, okay, it looks just okay, but a bit heavy-handed, would that warrant you pressing like, pressing dislike, or just not pressing anything? Like, I'm curious about that. Hello, Shani. Oops, I meant to use the death card in a fight. This'll do. Oh, that's awkward, you're still alive. Oops. Yeah, I also did not hit like or dislike upon watching it, but I did leave thinking, it looks like it might be okay, I'll give it a chance. It does just seem like a chance to like get into a fight for no reason in a comment section as well. Ooh, near light. Hopefully the writing is more nuanced. I hope so. Who was the villain in the trailer meant to be? Because I didn't recognize them. I don't know. I've only seen Batwoman in like a couple of the animated films and like tangentially in a couple of the comics, so I'm not too familiar with her like rogues gallery. Yeah, it was a bit like a female Joker, but I'm curious if she was meant to be someone specific or not. Yeah, it could be Joker's daughter. I was wondering that myself. Or, what's the one in White Knight called? Is it like Neon Joker or Neo Joker? Like the person who takes Joker's place when Joker becomes Jack Napier? Could be something like that as well. Because if there isn't a Batman, then Joker just kind of loses his will to clown. So it could be a situation like that. Joker sometimes has a daughter. You know how comics be. Oh, it's actually Harvey Dent's daughter. See, I didn't even know that because I haven't read any comics with her in it. Oh, Duella Dent. Yeah, I've heard that name though, actually, now that I think about it. We have not had our item room, and that is a library up there. Well, actually, it might not be, because this is closer to where I started, isn't it? No, it's got to be that north room. It's got to be. Duella Dent calls herself Joker's daughter. Yes, dual as in two, yes. So it might be Duella Dent then, just not fully taking on the Joker persona type thing. I think I like Book of the Dead more than Book of Sin here. Bookworm's good as well. The bad guy is Alice, as in Alice in Wonderland. Is this like someone who got tortured by Mad Hatter and went full crazy, or? Because he's got that whole thing about Alice. Ugh. It's Kent. It's been a while since I've made fun of Abel, but that time has come again. I'm waiting for more information. Let's just do the boss, I think. Hello, Flareon. She denies any connection to the Mad Hatter. Huh. Okay. It sounds like his perfect girl. Someone who willingly wants to pretend to be Alice in Wonderland. With a knife. Just another person. That's the only mention on her wiki page. Well, if they're giving limelight to some lesser villains to get started with, that kind of makes sense, like save the big bads for later. Okay, we haven't had a stat increase for a little while now, so the good stats we started with are starting to wane in terms of like effectiveness. Let's go to the shop. Trinket smelter would be nice. I can't afford it. 1 penny? If I got 1 penny there, I would have went looking for the others, but... Wait, hang on, I left some money on the floor. Is that 1 coin, 2 coin? Did I need fly to get to it, or was I just not willing to take damage? She was made in 2009? Oh, that is relatively new. Considering, as we know, Batman recently turned 80. It's a long-ass time to be a thing. Ooh. Sorry, what hit me there? Oh, I must have skidded onto the spikes. Yep, I did it again. Please stop doing that. Alright, I have enough for trinket smellers. That's what we're going with. Batman is back, Grandpa. It doesn't look a day over, I don't know, like 40, I guess. Alright, let's buy Trinket Smeller. Let's use Trinket Smeller. And I think I'm going to leave Book of the Dead just because we might be able to do something fun with Trinket Smeller. Although Book of the Dead is really, really good. Yeah, I think so. Well, just to be a bit weird. I don't think we have any kind of streak going, so who cares? Chat, thoughts on Netflix Titans? I'm not going to rehash, but I do have an episode way back when I watched it when it came to Netflix, so you can go try and find it. I probably called it Titans or something like that, where I talked about my thoughts on it. Is there any word on the season 2 of that yet? That's a lot of flies. Could have turned that into a lot of bone-related things, even though flies don't have bones, maybe. Do flies have bones? Well, in terms of baking, I made a lemon drizzle and marzipan cake. The reason I chose to make it was because a lemon drizzle cake but with marzipan sounded interesting to me. I posted a picture on Twitter. It tasted okay, but I think it had the same kind of problem the cherry cake I made that had marzipan in it did, which is marzipan has a habit of clumping together and staying, like, holding moisture. And the recipe for the lemon drizzle cake, instead, you know, you break the marzipan into small chunks and then try not to let them clump together. You're mixing a mixture, of course they're going to clump together. So in the areas where, like, most of the marzipan clumped together, it kind of sunk to the bottom of the cake and kept it kind of damp, so those bits weren't as nice. But the stuff that wasn't like that, it tasted like what I thought a lemon drizzle cake should taste like. I don't actually like lemon, is the thing. So the recipe called for the juice of 4 lemons, I only put in 2. Then when I let my mother try it when she stopped by, she was like, I can't really taste the lemon. Although her taste buds are shot, so it's hard to go by her taste levels, honestly. Oh, I love marzipan, that's why they caught my attention. So all in all, I would say it turned out fine. If I was doing it again, just miss out the marzipan. It makes it not sit well when it's done. Would have had a perfectly good cake, I think, without that in it. So, same if I ever did the cherry cake again. On the subject of cooking, so that we don't bore people by talking about Batman, even though I do have other Batman related stuff to bring up. My mother gave me another old cookbook she found that her and my gran used. And I'm going to read you the title of it, because I have it behind me. As the Successful Microwave Cookery. And I checked the date of when it was published, 1986. So she gave me this book that she used to do occasional recipes out of, and it's essentially how to make slightly fancy stuff using just a microwave. I wish she'd given it to me years ago. Yes, 1986. It's in colour, which is kind of surprising given how old it is. But you can tell, like, all the pictures of the stuff being made, the wallpaper in the background and stuff is just so stereotypically 80s. I love it. It's like a little bit a blast from the past, and like there's some handwritten notes on some of the recipes. I don't know if it's my mother's handwriting or my grand's handwriting. It's a neat little thing. They had colour in 1986? Apparently they did, yes. Thank you, Xbonechuck, for a 29-month streak with a tier 2 sub. That is a massive amount of support. It greatly helps keep this possible for a little while longer, so thank you. So I read through it earlier today and I found a couple of recipes. There's a sultana walnut cake I remember my mother making a few times. We need an item room. And she made it from the recipe that's in that book in the microwave. So I'm going to give that a whack at some point. And there was a recipe for... Hang on, I wrote out a version of it. It was... Oh, you know what? It was just a recipe to do a load of scrambled egg in the microwave, and that seemed like a time saver to me, so I'm going to give that a go as well. Just a big old load of scrambled egg. If you remind me after the stream, I'll post a picture on Twitter showing the date, or showing the book and then showing the date published. When I looked at it, I thought it was from the 90s. I was very surprised when I saw the date. The book is older than Evil Vice President. Well, that means you have to do what it tells you. Late 2019 for Titan Season 2, but just rumours so far? Alright. Yes, microwave scrambled eggs. Don't stare like that, you make demon mayonnaise. And I saw you playing whatever other farming game it was you were playing. Harvest Moon something or other? What, is my farm not good enough for you? Does my husband offend you? No, I didn't lurk. I just see the go live messages. It's a sad state of affairs, but I've learned that sadly ignorance is bliss regarding watching friends stream, because people who don't like me use their chats to make fun of me, complain about me. And that isn't entirely the other person's fault, but while I would imagine Valnar would be the good friend, I expect him to be, and like if he saw anyone doing that, being like, hey, stop that. Know from experience, not everybody's like that, and I don't have that many friends, so I'd rather not lose them by watching them woefully let people say horrible things. So I can't watch anyone I know stream ever again. But I see the go live messages. There's a difference between poking fun and, like, actively bullying. Like, if Twitch's new terms of service were in a year ago, I could definitely have got someone's channel banned. If I wanted to. Infested. But sometimes you've got to take the high ground. As I say, ignorance is bliss. I was feeling oddly stressed at the start of the stream today. It's the worst kind of stress to feel is stress where you don't know why you're stressed. It's kind of waning now. You can kind of, like anyone who experiences stress will know this. It kind of, you feel the peak and then you come down the other side. Utterly unnecessary. Oh, why did I take that? I'm not going to get down to that many hearts. Oh well. Utterly unnecessary stress. Like, stress and anxiety are the same thing, more or less, right? Are they synonyms? Or does one cause the other? Like, if you're anxious, are you stressed out? Or if you get stressed out, are you then made anxious? Because I know anxiety and panic are two different things. You can be stressed out because of anxiety. Alright, well, does it work the other way as well? Yeah, I thought anxiety was a category of stress too, but I don't know. But that's always the worst when you don't know why you're feeling that way, because then it gets worse, doesn't it? Because if you're worried about a big test or a dentist appointment, if you don't like the dentist, whatever, you feel bad, but you know why you feel bad. It's just like, oh, I don't look forward to this test, so I feel stressed out because who knows, it's an important test and I might not do well. At least you understand why you're feeling that way. It's just, it's normal, more or less. But if you're feeling that way for no reason, it gets worse. Because you can't find the rationale. At least in my case, I hate not understanding things. So if I can't understand a source of distress, then it gets worse. Like whatever the hell that was that happened back in November. The second definition of stress has anxiety as a synonym. Alright. You think it's the other way around? Oh right, so the stress is a category of anxiety. That kind of, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, that way around does make more sense. For example, you can also be depressed related to anxiety or just depressed. Also true, yeah. Rosary is fine because I spent a bit of HP. Not a stat increase, so again, we really do need some stats. You got any of them stats? I mean, either way, I didn't really want to get caught up in the minutiae of are they the same thing. The world is full of so many words. Stress is a temporary state brought on by adverse circumstances. Anxiety is persistent. That's also, yeah, I'd say that's a good way to put it as well. You like using the big test as an example. Like for my dog, Sora is an anxious dog. There isn't any one event that made her that way. There isn't any one event in the future where it's making her that way because she looks forward to, or not looks forward to them as the case may be. She's just an anxious dog. Border Collies are naturally anxious. Except she is just a very special case, let's say, where it's like dialed up to 10. I've triggered chat to get pedantic. That was not the intent. Oh, I guess wait, we don't want that. That just makes things harder. No, we don't want to trinket smell that. Goodbye. Why would you want one that makes it worse? Did I hear about that border collie shaped superhero located in northern Scotland? I did see that J. Jonah Jameson was wanting more pictures of it, yeah. Yes, I did. I took some very... No, this is totally unrelated to what Chris B just said, obviously. But I took some fun pictures of Sora using my good camera that I used to record battle reports, because I had it out and Sora was just like sitting and staring at me, looking all cute. So I was like, I'm not going to make it known what I'm doing. I'm just going to point this at her and take pictures. That's, I think, like, yeah, Holy Mantle once per floor. We can definitely chew on that. Oh, hang on, I just got a text message. Nope, never mind, it's not anything important. Hello, Najal Storm Caller. I was going to call you Stormtrooper, I'm so sorry. That is not your name. I think I also saw Notlub say that you do have an anxiety disorder. I feel like I did when I was younger. And then I feel like for a lot of my adult life I didn't. And I feel like now, in the last year and a bit, it's come back. And when I was younger, it was mostly just like exam stress and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember what age I was. I was in college at the time, I think. You know what it probably started with? It probably started with the social anxiety I got when I got Bell's palsy and had to go to college with like looking like I'd had a stroke because half my face didn't work. And that made me just very anxious around people. It probably stemmed from then on for a while. Felnar was here earlier, yeah. He's lurking, you know how he does. Oh, he is still here. There you go. And then Death, the Stars, the Chariot. Lots of good cards. Empress, Ace of Hearts is not so good.
The moon.
You know what's especially bad? It's especially bad if you're prone to bouts of anxiety, if you also have a painful bowel condition that's triggered by anxiety. That's real shitty. So anytime you have an especially bad day, it can flare up and then you're feeling the effects for weeks or months. Guess we'll take the... We don't need the Stars card because we're sitting on a key, but the Chariot could help us on a boss, so could the Empress. I'll take the Empress. Yeah, it's just one bad day. I am worried that I or someone present in chat might become the Joker. That's why I'm bringing this subject up. It's very important that we all discuss this with each other. Anyone who's a potential Joker should probably be sanctioned. You get stress pain? What if you also get stress pain on top of IBS pain? Because honestly, at the start of the stream today, I think that's what I was feeling. I was in my abdominal region was just in a lot of pain. Not like I need to go to the toilet pain, just a lot of pain. And that was probably what was throwing me off a little bit. Normally I wouldn't be so candid about health related stuff because I hate talking about health related stuff. There's no offense to anyone listening, but it's like... Remember in Batman and Robin when Alfred doesn't tell Bruce that he's ill, and he just says like a gentleman's health is his own business. That's usually how I feel about it. Confirmed that the stream of Fliks is a villain origin story. Absolutely. Unless I die young, then I get to be a hero. It's simple, we kill the Batman. You always have bad days. It's probably more accurate to say you always remember the bad days. Like, if I feel like I've had a bad week from a stress point of view, what I'm really thinking of is like the 1 or 2 times in the week where I just felt especially bad, and not like any of the multiple of hours other than that where it was either good or indifferent. Because it's like think of your body like Twitter. It's like you focus on the negative whether you want to or not, because it's so easy to fall into the trap of focusing on the negative. Like for every Twitter account that's just posting pictures of cute cats or dogs, how many are there if it's just like about drama or politics or the world's dying, etc. You find that having a place like this to talk about mental health has helped so much? I don't know if a Twitch chat place would ideally be the best place. I think I accidentally used the Emperor's card because my finger slipped. You see what happens? I would say the average Twitch chat would probably not be a place to talk about that, because you'd get a bunch of just get better foreheads, probably. In a quiet Twitch chat, or a Twitch chat where the average age, or mental age incidentally is what I'm talking about, not necessarily physical, the mental age of the people present is higher than the average Twitch chat, I feel like you can probably safely have an adult conversation. That said, we did have like political debates happening on Sunday. That was a line crossed. That was a step too far. Having a supportive place to talk about stuff like mental health issues, 100% okay with that. Having yet another place to argue about politics, I'm going to have to give that a hard nay. Again, that's what Twitter is for. Twitter is your mental health. It was on Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember which day. I do remember seeing on, I didn't read the story, I kind of wish I did now, but on the BBC there was like some, I think a British actress, who just kind of like came forward about also suffering from anxiety related issues despite being some big star. And people saying on, I think it was like via Instagram posts, not necessarily Twitter in this case, it's important for people with an audience to talk about these type of things because they have reach, and it makes people who don't have any kind of reach remember that they're not alone. And there's definitely a lot of power in that, but there's also like professional people who can help. It was someone from Game of Thrones. I don't know who it was. I didn't recognise the name when I saw it. They'll probably be needing a lot more of that therapy now. That was a bad Game of Thrones joke, I heard it's awful. On the plus side, that means I never need to get around to watching it. Okay, you've successfully Hunter Note Google Food the person I was talking about. Lest anyone think I was making up seeing this story. I did see it, I didn't read it. I kept on meaning to, but I didn't. One of the things I do before stream usually is distract myself by reading the BBC News. Ow. She's taking so long to die. It's because we haven't had any stab increases since we got started. Ugh. Okay, yep. That was dangerous. Lump of coal technically helps. Oh, good. It's retrovision, everybody. Was there a tinted rock in here, or did I destroy it during the fight? I can't tell because of the goddamn filter. There we go. Alright, that tea is long since cold because I got distracted by what we were talking about. Feels good to talk about it though. Even if little... I don't know if like cringe-worthy would be the thing, but... like, people come to Twitch to be entertained by people playing video games, not necessarily to have heavy conversations about various forms of anxiety. Or panic disorders, or stress-related events, etc. That's partially why I never talk about politics or anything like that, because I see doing this as offering a distraction. But I'm starting to see the importance of talking about that kind of stuff as well. In little chunks. In the right place. Not in the middle of like playing a battle royale, for instance. Oh no, I've got chat talking about Game of Thrones now. Chat, you don't understand, that wasn't my intention. Is that a tinted rock? I don't... no. We need to find a heart or we're going to lose our bone heart. And then we're going to be boned. Too late, hot plate. Well, we could change the subject, both off Game of Thrones and what we were talking about, if people want. I did get around to watching the trailer for the Hush animated... That just means no spacebar items, I'm fine with that. The animated trailer for the Hush movie. This room is... suck. Wait, there's not even a way out! Why did I come in here? Because I wasn't looking at the map, okay? I also watched the trailer for Batman vs Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles based on the comic I recently read. The Hush one looks okay. It already kind of shows that they're not doing it exactly like the book. I don't like that they seem to be making Hush just like a generic mwahahaha villain, because that's not really what he is. Like, for the most part, at the start of the Hush story, he mostly just stalks Batman reciting philosophical quotation to himself. Whereas in this one, it's got him, like, laughing evilly, being like, oh, soon you'll rue the day, Batman. That's not the kind of character Hush is. But it did look interesting, at least. The animation style looked okay, the voice acting seemed meh. I hate that they're leaving in the pointless Metropolis stuff. More or less. They're obviously going to change the ending because they're not going to be able to link the ending to anything because they've already done Behind the Red Hood. I'll get you next time, Gadget. Yeah, it's a bit like that. Because the way the book ends is with a Jason Todd reveal that's not really Jason Todd, without going into too many details. They've already done the Red Hood stuff, so they're not going to be able to do that. So it's going to have just some pointless, dramatic showdown between Batman and Hush that's utterly unnecessary. And that'll be a great shame. As for the Batman vs Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, it seems like it's staying true to the comic that I only just recently read. Don't like the animation style at all, and did not like any of the voice acting in the trailer, sadly, so I think I'll be giving that one a miss. Also, in the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tie-in, it's mostly just about Batman and the Turtles, whereas they're kind of, it looks like they're mixing the two books together because Damian and Batgirl are there. Ooh. Oh right, probably should have done that as well, but whatever. We might like lose here. We've talked about some heavy stuff, talked about some light stuff, nerdy stuff. Honestly, it felt good getting some stuff off my chest as well, so it helped. Hopefully the rest of the stream will be better as a result. But if we do die here, we'll be playing some Batman. Oh yeah, I picked up Poor Babylon. We're still gonna die though. Become Chub. Keep in mind, we didn't get a damage up the entire run. We started with Steven, which carried us for about 4 floors, and we had no stats. None at all after that. Bookworm is occasional damage, Lump of Coal is occasional damage up. I mean, we did actually live, but it's a hollow victory. And we did get... Ooh, the game thinks it's funny. I'm going to go back for those hearts. The game thinks it's funny by giving me damage now, in my darkest hour. 40k? Do you mean talk about 40k? There's nothing really to talk about. I'm looking forward to trying out those new paints they're bringing out next month, but I'm waiting to see. Have I thought about doing reviews of all the Batman stuff I've watched or read? No, because it's been done to death. I kind of am a guest. I'm okay with nerds talking about a fandom positively. There's way too much of nerds poking fun at the stuff they secretly love on YouTube already. Also, who cares about my opinion on Batman stuff, really? You're all listening to it just because you've got Stockholm Syndrome. They look and sound so good. What? The Injustice thing or the new paint line? Like, I'll happily blather away about Batman related stuff while I play Isaac. And I'll happily do videos on like unboxing new models and stuff for the Batman miniature game, but sitting and just reviewing like an animated movie, that's not my thing really. Plus those things are better done with like multiple people knowledgeable on the subject. There goes my holy mantle for the floor. Yeah, the contrast paints. Wait, contact? Contrast? Whatever they were called. I'm still going to be doing most of my usual painting style of abusing washes, but I never do more than one layer because I can't be asked thinning my paints, so this new stuff is just going to make my models look better, but I'm still going to do the exact same stuff I've always done, in theory. So I am A-okay with that. There we go, we are dead. That sucks. I'm sorry for cutting the conversation short, chat, but today I died. I was killed by this thing in some warm place. I don't get to see the die screen that often, but for YouTube, hope you enjoyed. See you next time.